If traveling by bicycle around the world was easy, everyone would be doing it. It's not easy. So I spent 2 hours this morning with Maggie at the ferry office trying to convince them that the trailer I have to pull her would be sufficient, because they demand that dogs be in a crate. You can't just have your dog on the ferry, which is of course so ridiculous because they saw how sweet Maggie was and they were playing with her and loved her, but they have rules. Mexico's so weird. It's like in so many cases there's absolutely no rules. You can drive on the beach, you can do whatever the hell you want, and then in other instances there's so many rules. So after 2 hours of negotiating with these people, I convinced them that they found a crate that I can rent from them. So I bought my ticket. We're now headed to Topo La Bampo, it's called. It's 250 miles north of Mazatlan, so we have a lot more riding to do, which is cool. I'm down to see more of Sinaloa, which is the state right across the Sea of Cortez, where we're headed to the mainland. And Maggie, I'm sorry to say, you're gonna have to stay in a crate because these jerks are making you for 6 hours on the ferry. Thankfully, it's only 6 hours. The ferry to Mazatlan is 13 hours. So it's just a 6-hour ferry. She's gonna need to sit in the crate. It's gonna be fine. She knows I always come back for her, and I got everything situated. But there was like a 2-hour period this morning where I didn't know if it was gonna work out, but it all worked out. And here's a lesson. When I got there to buy my ticket, they immediately just said, nope, that trailer doesn't work. No, you have to go buy one in La Paz. And then I said, I need to talk to your boss. Talk to another person. They said also no. I said, I need to talk to your boss. And if you demand in a kind way and don't get aggressive, just in a kind way, say, look, this is my situation, this is ridiculous. Slowly I talked to higher up people, and then they said, oh, we found a crate that you can rent and everything is good, and they were taking pictures of Maggie. Never take no for an answer if you know that what you're asking for is reasonable, because if you kindly and patiently keep working at it, you're gonna figure out your way. And that's what we did, Maggie. So we're gonna arrive on the mainland tonight around 9 p.m., which I don't have fear about, but it's a little sketchy because we're not gonna have a hotel room. It's gonna be nighttime. I'm usually never out with my bicycle and all my stuff at nighttime in Mexico, but so is life. We're gonna have to figure out, and I know we'll be fine. So first, we're getting some beach time before you have to sit in a freaking crate on a boat for 6 hours, but this is the last ferry that we're gonna have until Panama, I believe. So that won't be for like, I don't know, 9, 10 months, a year, who knows? I can't even explain a worse feeling in my life, but that means my life is pretty privileged, which it is. They have a very big crate for her. She has tons of room in there. She's got some water, a ball, and I just fed her. It's only 6 hours, my baby, and the minute the ferry leaves, I'm gonna come down here and I'm gonna hang out here hopefully the whole time with her, and I'll definitely take her out. I mean, we'll see what happens. Those doors could get locked, but I hope not. She's got another very cute puppy to hang out with. You two are gonna become friends. Maggie, this is our last ferry for a very long time. It's gonna be okay. I love you. I met a bike touring family cycling from Canada to Argentina in a year. Mom, dad, and 2 daughters, 10 and 13 years old, on tandem bikes. Beyond inspiring for me as someone who hopes to live the adventure while simultaneously having a family someday in the future. The girls were so sweet and smart, and they keep a blog for their friends back home. Ferries are time to reflect, and I had a lot to process and reminisce on the last 6 months cycling through the remote desert of Baja, my bonding with Maggie over this time, exposure to living with people who have very little resources compared to what I grew up used to, and how much I love living on hobby farms, especially a mango farm, and how I'd like to design my future life. The ferry was hilarious. I spent the whole time in the entertainment room watching musical acts and a clown, while other passengers pounded beers. When I got off the ferry, the bike touring family and I rode to the closest hotel, and we each got a room for the night, safe and sound. Maggie and I ate bread and beans from the gas station. Happy campers. I've hit an interesting point in my journey. Up until now, people know where Alaska is, and I realized today that when people ask me where I'm riding from and I say Alaska, I have to follow up with the state north of Canada, because just as I couldn't name you many southern Mexico states off the top of my head just a few months ago, most of these people have no idea where or what Alaska is. Crazy I've come so far. Good morning, buenos dias from the mainland. Got on the road this morning around 9 o'clock. It's like a straight stretch through this like industrial and marshy and dirty land out of the ferry. It's common for getting out of a ferry town till we get to kind of the main road. This is one of the craziest roads I've been on. There's not too many cars, but because they're doing road construction, it's just these 3 lanes for both sides of traffic, but there's no yellow lines painted. So there's cars using all the lanes going north or going east and all the cars going west. There's absolutely no rules. You can go use whatever you want. It's pretty insane. And that is, I think, a chicken farm, and there's battery cages packed together, and it smells so terrible. And fuck you guys. I mean, I love you because you're a human and we're brothers and sisters, but it's a massive operation with probably hundreds of thousands of chickens for people to eat, and I don't support that. I don't condone that, and it won't happen forever. It's just we still live in a dark age. Oh my gosh, I'm loving the mainland. It's so different. There's like a more tropical vibe, and it almost feels a slightly bit more like I'm in a Thailand or Southeast Asia type third world place versus Baja is like Mexico light, they call it. I'm feeling that. This feels authentic. Just found a little fruit shop, and we got some bananas and papaya for breakfast. Taking my final little rest break of the day. This highway is pretty nice. Finally have a shoulder, which I never had in Baja, and I got 6 mangoes for about $1.50. My first mango off the farm. I'm expecting that I'm a severe mango snob at this point, but let's try it out. Wow, it looks good. It's delicious. Holy shit. Oh, that's an epic mango. Maggie, I wish you could appreciate carbohydrates as much as I do. She actually ate a couple whole mangoes on the farm, but not too many. A few peanut butter and bananas later, and my ride was over. Usted dice que pueblo es este?
Aquí Ruiz Cortines, aquí en Guasave.
See?
Ahí está Guasave.
I arrived here and found these dudes at a park, and it turns out that my buddy Brian wants his first tattoo. ¿Estás lista para tu primero tatuaje?
Sí, un poco nervioso, pero ahí estamos, ahí a ponernos un poco
Sí.
una línea.
He's a little nervous, but he's excited for it. We just made a beautiful design, and this is my first time doing a tattoo like during a biking day. I biked in, met some dudes. They're letting me camp here in the yard. Very beautiful. We got guava trees right here, guayaba, and we're banging out a tattoo. Let's do this. Sorry for being the worst vlogger, but you can imagine what it's like to bike all day in the heat, be undercarb, tired, immediately go into tattooing, putting your stuff in a foreign place. I didn't get any shots of it, but Brian, let's see it. Let's see it, tatuaje. Quiero ver. That's how you spell his name, Brian, with some snowflakes made out of little dots. I'm pretty stoked with it. ¿Estás feliz?
Muy feliz.
Sí, muy chido. Ahora nosotros va a comprar poquito comida y camino con Maggie. Thanks so much for watching and supporting, and remember, the way to keep the ride and vlogs flowing is just to pledge $1 or $2 onto my Patreon page. It is a game changer for me to ride and spread the vegan message and inspire people all over the world, so I thank you.